So the dumber I behave, the richer I get. American Fiction was written, produced, and directed by Cord Jefferson in his feature film debut, based on a novel Erasure by Percival Everett, and it stars Jeffrey Wright as author Thelonious Monk Ellison, a very, very intelligent and very gifted author, according to his business partner Arthur, played by John Ortiz. But let's just say life is not all sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows, waterfalls, and everything is not great because his book sales are fledgling. And yeah, Arthur says you're really good, but you got to write something successful because you're not banking a whole lot of money and it's not going well. It's not going well for you at all, Monk. And he knows he's good. He knows he's really good, but he's also having to fight the establishment, and he's seen how black authors and entertainers are having to basically feed the establishment, so to speak, and churn out stuff that entertains people, but maybe just doesn't feel real. It's kind of just churning out stuff that just is like, oh, okay, that's it. We're gonna, go to the lowest common denominator and everything. We're not going to try to do anything highbrow. We're just going to go totally lowbrow here. Okay, you want me to go lowbrow? Well, maybe I can try to go lowbrow, but oh, no, life throws a curveball where unfortunately, yeah, things aren't going well job-wise. Let's just say that. Things really aren't going well. I mean, between teaching and writing books and stuff like that, things are not going well. And then he runs into a couple of roadblocks. End of the line. That's a deep cut for wrestling fans right there, where he's got some strains in his family life, his extended family life, between his siblings, his mother, and stuff like that. And after a certain incident, he has to basically step up and really take care of his family. And in addition to that, his life is really just beating him down. And then he decides, fuck it, I'm frustrated. I'm going to give them what they want. I'm going to write something just really generic, just play up every black stereotype and everything. There are some mentions of the N-word here in the movie that I obviously will not say, and please do not mention it in the comments. Just please don't. Don't fucking do that. So that being said, he writes this out, he sends it to Arthur, and Arthur's like, okay, I'll send it to people, but I don't know how well this is going to work. And oh, lo and behold, publishers love it because it's schlock, it'll sell. They offer him a whole lot of money. He's getting a movie deal out of this. Things are coming up Thelonious, not exactly Millhouse. And now, essentially, Monk is having to balance his family life because certain things are coming up where it's going to cost a whole lot of money to take care of some members of his family, and things just keep going awry. And he's like, this money will really help out, but goddamn, I really don't want to do this. And the worst part about it, he did this under an assumed name, Stag R. Lee. Yes, Stagger Lee. JYD, another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust in Mid-South Wrestling or Coco Ware in Memphis Wrestling. If you are not a territorial wrestling fan, you have no goddamn idea what I'm talking about. But that being said, yes, under an assumed name, and they even give him like an alternate identity, that kind of stuff. Arthur comes up and concocts this fanciful story, and just things get more out of control with the lies and lies and lies and lies on top of lies. And Monk really, he wants to help out his family, but at what cost? Will it cost him his dignity? What will it cost him? And also, something that really, really pissed him off was like early on in the movie, he sees a reading by Centara Golden, played by the incredibly gifted and incredibly gorgeous Issa Rae. I mean, honestly, she's so fucking good, and so fucking beautiful. My God. But she is, churning out books and writing to entertain people and everything, and also line her pocket and everything. She's like, yeah, I'll do that stuff because I want to entertain people. And also, oh, hello, I like money. And there, underneath the surface, there's, chats about, being there for family, but also being true to yourself, and also how do you balance life and stuff like that. Life's not easy, and it really isn't, and everything. And as far as a movie, this was really fucking great. That's pretty anticlimactic right there, but Jeffrey Wright is fucking terrific. He was great in a couple of the Hunger Game movies. The one that plays his sister, Tracy Ellis Ross, she's been good in a lot of stuff. John Ortiz and Ad Astra and other projects, but Issa Rae, I mean, even though she's not on screen all that much, goddamn, I love watching Issa Rae. Maybe I will confess my love for Issa Rae one of these days. Shut up. But Adam Brody has a supporting role here. Leslie Uggams, I'm sorry if I got that name wrong. She plays the mother, Agnes. Agnes reminds me of a neighbor lady actually just across the way that used to live in a house that's now an empty lot, and she was a super sweet lady. And actually, the way Leslie played her sort of reminded me of Agnes. And there's also a love interest, Erica Alexander, who's been in a lot of projects. And I really like the supporting cast here. Sterling K. Brown, who was in This Is Us and also Waves, and he was great as dad in Waves. He plays the brother. And it's just an incredible balance of like comedy and drama and emotional punches, but it doesn't feel sappy, and comedy that doesn't feel like it's pandering to you. And yes, some of the comedy is like almost a meta commentary as far as like, you know, how studio execs and stuff like that view African American entertainment, and the more they try to sound like they understand, the worse off they sound. As a white person, I unfortunately identify. And Jeffrey Wright is the center of this whole thing, and he's fucking terrific. This is incredibly well done. Very, very well done. I only saw one trailer, and I was like, all right. The reason I saw this, and I'm actually doing this review right now, is it was a Regal Mystery movie, and I interrupted my watching of WWE Raw because I was like, yeah, I'll just go watch it, go give it a shot. And I'm glad I did, because I was laughing my ass off from the very beginning. I was very, very touched by how they handled all the stuff, you know, with the family. And is the movie wholly original? No, really, if you think about it, it isn't, but it's the writing and the way the cast does things, and the fact that I think Core Jefferson put some of his own experiences in this. At least I think so. I'm guessing. I don't know. But this movie ends up taking stuff that's kind of familiar and just with crisp writing and incredibly well done, layered characters. Not so layered that we feel like we're smothered by them. We want to know more about them. We know enough about them that we appreciate them, and it weaves in and out, allowing these characters to be part of the story. But at the center of it, Jeffrey Wright's Monk is, you know, struggling with his own feelings of self-worth, that is, and just other stuff that he's struggling with. And it's really, really well done. It's really well done. I highly recommend you check out American Fiction. I'm going to get into spoilers. Spoilers really won't take very long, as there isn't that much to spoil. But the crisp writing is just great. I mean, it's goddamn great. And the book that he writes is called My Pathology, you know, with an F instead of a PH. And it's just so goddamn good. So goddamn good. Anyway, I'm going to get into spoilers just so you know. They'll be in theater soon. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. So, after basically getting put on leave from his job for having the N-word written on the board and everything and making some students uncomfortable, and I could get it, he is struggling to write books. He goes to visit his family. They have a beach house and everything because they're in Massachusetts, because he was living in L.A. Not drinking in L.A. That song is now forever in my head. But he's talking to his sister Lisa. It turns out that the mother is actually struggling with, you know, the early onset dementia and Alzheimer's. Really sad. And Leslie plays a role really well. I do want to say that. It's a steep descent, but it's gradual enough at first, and then poof, it just drops. But she plays it really well. And then, you know, he's just out one day with his sister, and his sister, who's a doctor and everything, unfortunately has a cardiac event and dies. Just dies. The aortic event or something, she just dies, and that was a bit surprising. See, I've never read the book, so I don't know how the book plays out. But he's, you know, now he's taking care of that. He's, you know, he's reading a eulogy, dumping her ashes in the ocean. And Sterling K. Brown is there and confronts a guy who tries to accost him about dumping, you know, human remains in the lake. And Lorraine, played by my Lucretia Taylor, who's the family friend hired help, so to speak. She's great. She's great in this. Really well balanced as far as characters and everything. And he writes this book and then has to play up that he's like a wanted fugitive because Arthur comes up with this whole idea. That's how he wrote the whole damn thing. And there's this funny part where Keith David and a guy in an eye patch, and I catch the young man's name, but he was fun. But Keith David, it's always great to see Keith David in it. But a film offer's made, and Adam Brody's a film executive. He really wants to make this work and everything. I'm willing to offer you a whole bunch of money, and this money will take care of the fact that his mother has to be in assisted living, Monks that is. And he's also balancing the fact that Coraline, played by Erica Alexander, is, interested in him. She's separated from her significant other, and now she really likes him. And this is all while he's trying to carry on this idea of being Stag R. Lee, but also being Thelonious Ellison, and he's trying to carry this stuff on, and then another monkey wrench gets thrown in where he's trying to, be a judge for a book award. And there are these other judges, 3 white people, 1 woman, 2 white guys, and also Centara Golden, Issa Rae. Again, more Issa Rae on my television, or on my screen. I'm not going to complain right there. But it turns out that they have some common ground and everything, and then he's balancing the stuff with the girlfriend that kind of goes tits up because he kind of snaps at her unjustifiably, I do want to say right there. And it turns out also Sterling K. Brown, as the brother, was gay, never got to tell the dad. And the mother, her dementia gets worse. It was really sad about Tracy Ellis Ross. Like, her character was like, holy shit. But they're doing all this balance. There's this one funny thing where he's talking to Adam Brody's character, and then he's like, pretending to be this convict and everything. And then he runs at the first sound of sirens like a fugitive would do. And even goes on a talk show under, the guise and everything with the distorted voice. And then he ends up, his book that he decides instead of, what the title was and everything, he wants to call it Fuck. That's really what he wants to call the book, because he just wants to basically do everything he can to stop this, but it keeps selling. It keeps doing that. And his book ends up winning this award. And wins this award, and he gets up and he does all, he has this award, and then he's going to say something, and then it just fades to black. Well, what the shit? Well, then it turns out they're on a movie set, and they're coming up with an ending and everything. So, yeah, there are some people that might not care for that, but I found it funny. Then he did another ending where he ran in his tuxedo and took a taxi and went down to talk to Coraline to try and make up with her. And then that fades away. They fade away in a shot. And then he comes up with another ending where instead of that, he just gets shot up by police because he's supposed to be a wanted fugitive. And that's what they end up going with. And then he goes off with his brother, Sterling K. Brown. And then that's it. And there's a lot of other end jokes and stuff like that. And it's really, really something worth your time. American Fiction is very, very, very fucking good. I see exactly why it got so much goddamn praise at film festivals and everything. So I encourage you guys to check this out. So, A+, it gets an A+. Jeffrey Wright's great, writing's great, acting's great. I really enjoy it. I really goddamn enjoy it. I look forward to seeing what else Cord Jefferson can do in the future. So, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.